Welcome, everyone. This is Pine Needles, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at latest in LOTRO and hear LOTRO players. And this week we have with us Sanswinda
Hello.
and Krister.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. It's time to see what the news is for LOTRO this week, and there isn't much. But the biggest thing is that we have started the third season for the Legendary Item Reward System. I don't know about you guys, but I only realized that it was switching over a couple of hours in advance because I was looking at it. I was checking, see, how many days do we have left? I said, 3 hours. So I wanted to make sure. So I had to work in order to make sure I got that banner of, I think it was Gilgalad, or I had to make sure that I at least got to that one because I was just short of that one. I think it would have been rather disappointing to find out that I missed the banner by the tiniest of slivers. So yes, that season is over and we have a new season starting, which I don't know if you had a chance to check that, but the 25 level reward is a skillet in a pot.
It actually looked like there was some good stuff on that reward track.
Yeah.
With the battle cry of increase how much ancient script we can hold at any one time has gone up as well. So.
Oh, okay. I hadn't quite noticed that yet. I guess because so it is nice that the battle script is going up also because yes, it was.
No. That's the cry. Is we want it to go up.
The cry. Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
We want that to go
think
up.
I missed something. Okay.
No, that would be wonderful. Yeah.
I mean, if it went up, maybe I could get some rewards out of these reward tracks.
That's what's so frustrating is there's so much you can get. I don't know what 8,000 script, right? So, and that's just virtually all of your. You're virtually full at that point. So more than likely, you're already there.
Well, I guess because I don't have much script on the servers where I'm seriously playing because I've used it all.
Okay.
So I guess I don't understand this concept of being. I know that back in February, where I was constantly at the peak on those, but now I tend to be on the lower end of it because let's say it's not coming in very richly at the moment, shall we say. So yes, I've learned there.
You're right. You're right. I'm coming at it from the perspective that I had a bunch of stuff to trade in, and I was flush with script.
Right.
At the beginning.
But I've been leveling a couple of characters in there, and so the script has been disappearing. It was especially challenging on Anor, where I really didn't have too many characters. In fact, I only had one serious character on Anor, so I didn't have all these characters filling up my script coffers. So yes, Legendary Items Season 2 is over, and now we are in Season number 3. So you had the skeleton pot, a sylvan bow, a black bat, if you want a bat, and a painted skeleton steed. Now, when they say a painted skeleton steed, does that mean you get your choice of which of the 3 skeleton steeds that exist on them? Or what? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question, because I would almost wonder if it's a new color?
Right. Because none of them say, because I checked for the painted skeleton steeds on the steed list, and I did not see anything that talked about the reward track on any of them. So I was wondering, is it one of your choice of one of the 3 that you traditionally have? Because I know that getting the steed you want has always been a real challenge for all 3 of them. And I could just imagine what Draculetta could have a chance that if he had time to get all the way up to 100, he could finally get a steed. But he's been playing DDO, not LOTRO lately. So actually, if you listen to the episode of DDO Players News, I think his computer is on the fritz right now, so he's not playing anything right now.
Oh.
Yeah. We can hope that his computer gets replaced quickly. And anyway, that's what I have for the new rewards track for this season. So that will go on for another 3 months, and we'll see how that goes. I only got to about 25, I think, on one server and maybe about 40 on another. So I did not get anywhere near 100 this time around. I doubt I will this time either. So let's head into our store. Oh, no, actually, no, not that yet. I also noticed a great number of threads on the forums relating to classes. It looks like the people involved in the working with the various classes have posted a master message to get feedback on the current state of the classes. So it looks like they're at the feedback gathering stage, deciding which classes are going to be updated. And they also have a similar thread relating to state of PvP. And I noticed that there have been a ton of responses on the PvP one. So that one's a very, very active thread, shall we say. And I think that took about half the first page of the dev tracker for this week with the responses from the developers on the matter. So it looks like they are at least getting the feedback stage and deciding what they're going to be doing next. And that's it for what's happening on game news this week. So that's not much on the matter. So I have a feeling that soon we should be getting our first hints about the next update, I would hope, because it's getting near the end of August. So we'll have to see what's going on in there. But until then, we'll just have to go and see what's on sale this week. Sans, what's on sale?
Well, this week, go ever on and on. You can have 25% off selected XP boosts, enhanced XP supply, 100% mark acquisition boosts, and virtue acceleration tomes all the way through August 25th. And there's a free weekly coupon for 5 free universal morale potions with the coupon code MORALE5, MORALE 5, also through August 25th.
All right, thank you. And that's it for our game news this week. So, Krister, what have you done this week?
Well, we took another shot last night at Hidden Horde T2, and we have a ploy always had this way of being able to recover from situations where we shouldn't have recovered, and that is one of the most satisfying parts of the game for me is when everything goes south, but everybody does their job, keeps calm, and recovers. And we put that on display last night at several points, because boss one, we had a moment where everything went very poorly, but we recovered from it. And then in a couple of the big pulls up to boss two, we had some interesting shenanigans, and but we recovered from it, and we had our best boss two attempt ever. We adjusted our tactics based on some feedback from one of our kin buddies, and it worked out to be really well. So we basically, where we failed last night was just after we had done all the hard work on boss two, just before we were going to phase him for the chandelier. So we were practically at the end. Because now what I understand is that once we get to that phase, it shouldn't be any more than having to drag him under 2 chandeliers, and that should give us the opportunity to kill him. So we basically done all the hard work, but we were just not at a point to recover by the time we got there. So so it was a little bit bittersweet, but I think everybody felt good about our performance, and so it feels like it's we see the finish line now. We're going to be crossing it, so that was very satisfying. And also, I had to, because Krister is Krister, I had to show up to the festival. But I'm wondering if you guys can guess what the main reason that Krister goes to any festival is.
Main reason?
Cosmetics.
There we go. Well, it's basically so I can get on one of my pretty war steeds and stand near the quartermaster and just have everybody come over and gawk at how beautiful and wonderful I am. It's very satisfying. so I had to go stand by the the quartermaster.
Uh-huh.
I'm kidding. So I did a little bit of the festival and didn't haven't quite seen anything that's capturing my fancy yet, but I'm still in my perusing phase. And then, of course, in ESO, my Exploring Orc has gained a title. Uh, there was some title beyond Oyster Club Master, and I just got it. And I found that the tribute from the game is awesome. It's just like this continuous flow of junk that you can use. So it's awesome. And then I've finally put together yet another costume that I almost wept. It was so beautiful. So I'll have to show you guys that at some point. And then, of course, I am continuing to play Stellaris, trying to get my skills up to some kind of mediocre par as I head into this conflict with my nephew, who's a master of this game and will probably just humiliate me within about 30 to 45 minutes. So, Sans, what do you got up to?
Well, I did some festivaling and reached level 10 on Deadly Without Dying, thanks to festivaling. But I didn't attack the heat under level 10. And I noticed that the races were pretty empty. I tamed some Beelzebufu in Ark and have enjoyed hopping around. They're basically giant frogs that make cementing paste in their inventory when you eat bugs.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
yeah. And their attack deals torpor to knock creatures out, which is pretty cool too. So that's been pretty fun. And I helped save a princess in Final Fantasy XIV. And that was pretty much my week. How was your week, Pineleaf?
All right, for my week on Anor, my warden attended a wedding and the banquet afterwards. After that, I said farewell to Anor because closing, as we've reported before. Then came the decision of where I was going to take my character. I eventually decided that since I had a warden of at least level 100 on every English language server except for Evernight, I decided to go to Evernight. Now, on Evernight, that was a server where the name Pineleaf was taken by something like a level 25 hunter. And I was trying to think, okay, coming up with a good name for it and all that stuff. So I did the transfer, and apparently that hunter must have either been renamed or deleted or transferred or something like that because I got over and my name is still Pineleaf over there.
Rats.
Right. So that means I did manage to get my name. So it's because I didn't have a Pineleaf on there before because that was the only English language server where I didn't have a Pineleaf. So now I have them on all the English language servers. When I say that, I'm excluding legendary servers and the like on there. So now I've got a Pineleaf on their level 130 because that was the level I reached before transferring off of Anor. Now I just have to find time to play on that server. Maybe someday I could run Gunabad with this character that I created back on Anor. But of course, it does help to demonstrate this that you can transfer from Anor to servers on either side, either the European or the US servers. And that demonstrated that I was able to do it on that. Nice that we had that little thing because otherwise I would have had a name clash somewhere if I transferred it to one of the US servers. And then over on my brawler finished Hootbold. And I was trying to think, all right, what am I going to do now? Because the reason I was doing Hootbold was to see what the Hoot Bowl gear was like for the brawler. I know. Hoot Bowl gear isn't all that great once you've started getting into level 86 and above. And I decided I wasn't in the mood to go through Western, Rohan, and through Gondor and all that stuff. And that the next thing I really wanted to do on the brawler, and the only thing I think I haven't done on the brawler, was to do the class quest that was added at level, I think it's about 110 where that class quest is, 108, 110. So I said, all right, I've got to do that quest because I'm doing this for the series on this. And I got to see all the aspects of the brawler. So I valored up, and fortunately there was a valor to go from above 50 to 105. So I got that particular valor in there. So I leveled up on there, and I'm 105. I've entered into Udun, and I'm starting to do the quest within Udun around there so that I can go in or reach that class quest. So that's what I did on that side. So starting on my trip into Mordor over there. And I also was playing a bit in DDO where my tabaxi was going into the Temple of Elemental Evil a little bit more, just to pound some evil elementals in the face. And that is it for my week in gaming. So let's head into news beyond LOTRO, where there is another Lord of the Rings RPG that's coming in from Free League. These are the ones who have published the One Ring, the current publishers of the One Ring system in there. And now they'll be coming up with the Lord of the Rings role playing system. This is pretty much the replacement, as far as I could tell, for their adventures in Middle Earth, which was being done by, I think it was by Cubicle 5, who were the previous holders of the rights to do the Lord of the Rings RPG. So now that the Free League has it, they have the new edition of the One Ring, and the Lord of the Rings role playing system will be their 5e version of it. It's the one that is compatible with Dungeons and Dragons. So that will be coming out, and we'll see how that goes over time in here. And that is the new edition is coming out, designed by Francisco Napolito and Marchio, and we'll have to see. It looks like the retail release is for both ends planned in first quarter of 2023. And that'll be the Lord of the Rings role-playing core plus the Shire Adventure. Guess that means you could play hobbits. Does that mean you'll be delivering pies?
Pies.
Yeah.
I deliver death.
And that's what you do in Shire Adventures, right?
Oh, I thought we just burned down the Shire, but I have a different perspective, I think.
Right. We also have a new song by Darren Loremaster. The Urukai are coming, and this is to the tune of Tommy Prophet's The Storm is Coming. So I am not familiar with Tommy Prophet's piece. Is anyone here familiar with that piece?
I am not, no.
Nope. All right. So I was wondering whether the storm is coming was about a literal storm or if it was some sort of a proverbial storm, similar to, because when the Urukai are coming, it's a storm of enemy in there of a sort. So I say it sounds like an appropriate paralleling for doing a little bit of a Lord of the Rings parody there over there. And this is describing, of course, the Battle of Helm's Deep, which is when there was a storm of Urukai coming down upon Rohan.
Well, shouldn't we try something like that? So let's say, okay, let's take a snapshot, like the siege where the orcs run in with the torch ready to blow up the wall, and then when he blows up the wall, then we could make a song called "It's Raining Uruk-hai." So the tune of "It's Raining Men." See? Okay, maybe we can work on that idea a little bit.
Yeah, it could use a little bit of tweaking, I think. We currently have 15 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious rate of players and help support LOTRO players, you can go to the donations page. You can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money may be used for our podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. If you'd like to send us an email, you can send it to podcast@LotraPlayers.com. You can also follow us at Twitter, the Players Alliance @Players Alliance, LOTRO Players @LOTRO Zarendis @Zarendis, Piney Sense Winda Essence Winda, Terry Adwin Terry Adwin, Guarendis Guarendis, Calabathian Calabathian, and Krister @Entropy Engine 1. Someday I'm going to accidentally say Nida Shell for some reason. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. US Eastern Time. We have LOTRO Players News, and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. US Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News. You guys join us for our shows at LOTROPlayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight. And this is Pilot Mules reminding you to skirmish responsibly.